Did you know these facts? This loading symbol is actually called a throbber. In the United States, 75% of truck owners do not use their truck for towing or going off-road. 2 million tires were intentionally dumped off the coast of Florida in the 1970s as an attempt to stimulate growth of new coral reefs. Miracle Village in Florida is a small town where more than 50% of the residents are registered offenders. When you sleep, your brain gets washed with spinal fluid. More people have walked on the moon than blocked a LeBron James dunk. Buzz Aldrin's dad never accepted that he was the number 2 man on the moon instead of number 1. His dad even tried to get USPS to change their commemorative stamp from first man on the moon to first men on the moon and failed. Big Bird looks different in every country. This is Big Bird in the Netherlands, this is Big Bird in Portugal, and this is Big Bird in Brazil. These maps are going to change the way you see the world. This is how much income you're gonna need to join the top 1% in every US state. California makes it easy. It's just 1 million solid. Yeah, easy. So it looks like the highest is actually in Connecticut with 1.2 million. That's fascinating, actually. The lowest is in West Virginia. You only need $420,000 a year to be in the top 1%. Yeah, I know I say only, it's a lot of money, but also relatively, it's cool. But yeah, we're all doomed, so it doesn't matter. This is just a map of the Midwest. Yeah, it's definitely in the West and in the middle because it's the Midwest. This was the first transcontinental railroad that was completed in 1869. You now could cross the country within a week instead of multiple months. That was dangerous. Interesting that there was an Oregon Trail and a California Trail. So this map shows that the entire area of Manhattan is smaller than the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. This map divides the world into 4 equal quadrants and shows that the Northeast has almost 3 out of 4 people on Earth. It says 13% in the Northwest, but only 5% of that is in the United States, which is the same as the 5% in the Southwest. 86% of all humans live in the top side of this quadrant. Maps that will change the way you see the world. This is a prediction of what the world is going to look like 250 million years from now. These are the CO2 emissions across the Indian subcontinent, with the lightest, whitest areas being the highest. This map shows all of the foreign military presence that is sitting in Africa right now. This map shows the most valuable Italian brands and where exactly they came from. If you draw a straight line between the northernmost point and southernmost point in the contiguous United States, along with the westernmost point to the easternmost point, the lines do not intersect. This map shows what the size of the Great Lakes would look like if it was in Europe. This map shows which state you can find the highest percentage of people with ancestry from every European country. This map shows where every popular sitcom took place. Every red dot on this map is a football pitch or a soccer field if you're from the United States. This map shows that in 1990, most of the United States had 15% or less obese adults in their state, where less than 30 years later, now almost every state has more than 25% obesity rates. Facts about money that is going to blow your mind. Out of the world's 2,781 known billionaires, only 21 of them are black. That's less than 1% of the world's billionaires. This is what the Wii U sales looked like compared to the Wii and the Nintendo Switch. Cars leaving Singapore must be filled with 3/4 of a tank to prevent them from buying cheaper gas in Malaysia and avoiding Singapore's gas tax. Germany's money lost so much value in 1923 due to hyperinflation that people started using it for wallpaper and kindling. When flipping a coin, 3 times as many people choose heads over tails. The top 5% of all lottery ticket buyers purchase half of all lottery tickets on the market. As long as you paid 7 days in advance, US airlines are required to refund a purchase within 24 hours if requested. 95% of bills printed are to replace the money that's already in circulation. Maps that will change the way you see the world. This map shows all the countries that have been led by females, where gray is 0, yellow is at least 1, and the purple is 5 or more. This map shows at what age the average European leaves home. The lowest are the yellow countries with under 23 years old, and the highest are the purple countries with over 31 years old. This map shows what the 2 largest cities are on every single continent. If your country is one of the blue countries on this map, North Korea has an embassy where you are. This map shows how many ducks there are across South Asia, and you can see in Bangladesh, where it's really white, that they actually have a ton of ducks because they use ducks instead of chickens in farming because of all of the flooding that happens. This map shows the literacy rates in Romania in 1930, and the dark green areas are where it was 90% or more, and the darkest red areas are where it was 20% or under. This map shows India's population density, and it's actually really cool to see how so many people are right along the top line there. Here are some crazy things happening in the world right now. 8 men were jailed after posing as electricians to power illegal UK cannabis farms. An HR manager created 22 fake employees with perfect attendance and stole $2.2 million before being caught. A woman was stung by a scorpion while grabbing her luggage at Boston's Logan Airport. Rising egg prices in the US have sparked a booming chicken rental industry. A painting named "Thou Shall Not Steal" was stolen from a United Kingdom church. Piglets left to starve for an art exhibit were stolen by activists. A man was arrested for stealing $25,000 worth of Legos from California stores. An Olympian turned drug lord has been added to the FBI's 10 most wanted list. A man was rushed to surgery after his nose-picking habit ruptured an artery. A new iPhone toaster recharges your battery to full power in just 2 seconds. The officer who arrested Justin Timberlake for a DUI won Officer of the Year on Justin Timberlake's birthday. China's new dark factories run 24/7 with no human workers, using only AI and robots. They're saying this is their future. 2 AI agents realized they were both AI and instantly switched to a superior GG wave signal. 23% of Harvard's 2024 MBA graduates still can't find a job. A Connecticut man accused of cannibalism has been granted conditional release. Thieves used a stolen card to buy a $523,000 lottery ticket, and the victim wants to split the winnings. A man freed after 30 years in prison said the biggest change is that everybody is looking at their phones. News that will give you hope. A missing 5-year-old who walked out the back door was found in a nearby river and rescued by a Florida officer. A Burger King employee who went viral recently for working 27 years and only receiving a goodie bag from Burger King was able to buy a house thanks to the donations from going viral. A man was finally arrested in a 1973 cold case. Long Beach, California has fixed nearly half of its 63,000 potholes. A stray dog that was desperate to be picked up by a pup bus got adopted. We have discovered that microplastics can be removed from water when you boil it. A California cat traveled 800 miles back home after getting lost at Yellowstone National Park. Thailand has recently seen a 250% increase in the number of tigers in the country. I was not expecting what I learned today. This is a picture of the human tongue under a very, very high zoom, and let's zoom back out now because that is creepy. The original squirrel chosen to be in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation passed away of a heart attack before filming and had to be replaced with an untrained squirrel. There was a mile 420 sign in Colorado that just kept getting stolen, so Colorado replaced it with a mile 419.99 and moved it up just a little bit. The sign apparently has never been stolen since. I hope nobody gets any ideas from this video. There was a rocket that launched in Russia and was struck by lightning, but it just kept going up. Button cell battery names are codes that include the chemistry, shape, diameter, and thickness. So for example, a CR2032 stands for C lithium, R round, 20 millimeter diameter, and 3.2 millimeters thick. I probably will never need to know that, and maybe you won't either, but somebody out there might. One of you out there is definitely a part of like a I Love Batteries Facebook group, right?